Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I am your host, Mr. Mark Antimate, your Tokyo Godfather here, looking like a mafia boss today. Today's very special Valentine's Day episode, I'm going to be conducting a tasting review over these two chocolates right here from the brand Maison Cacao, the Legacy and the Artisan. Now, if you want to know about the Maison Cacao brand, it's a chocolatier brand from the Japanese historic town of Kamakura, but as well as having a shop in Kamakura, they also have shops in Tokyo and also in Yokohama. And there is also an online shop, which I use to order these two chocolates from. Being that I go to Tokyo Station proper very frequently, so many times in a week, I always stop by the Maison Cacao brand to look for these two chocolates, and I could never find them. So I thought maybe it would be easier just for me to order these on the internet, and that's what was the case. Now, unfortunately, just a heads up for the international crowd, they do not ship these chocolates internationally because this is raw chocolate and it needs to be kept at a certain temperature that just couldn't be met on such long flights. When you register with the site itself, once you go to a chocolate that you want to order, and if you see that it is sold out, underneath the sold out, there will be a little notification button that says, please send me a notification either via email or text message to my phone when it becomes available again. And so I clicked this button and I waited for the very moment that it did become available, both of these products, and I ordered them immediately at that moment in time, and successfully I was able to order these. The good thing about ordering on the internet is that you have a more successful chance of getting it than you do in store, but the bad thing is that the price is going to be jacked up about 1,000 yen more than what you would pay for it retail in the store. The retail price for both of these is 4,320 Japanese yen a piece, but ordering it on the internet means that you have to pay a shipping price of 880 yen, a tax on that, which is 320 yen, and then I think there is a double tax, which is probably for the alcohol content that is inside the chocolate, that's 10%, and that tax is 80 Japanese yen. All in all, which should cost me 4,320 Japanese yen for one, now costs me 5,200 Japanese yen for one. That means for the pair, you're paying Ichiman 400 yen, 10,400 Japanese yen. So, after paying 2,000 Japanese yen more than what I was expecting to, I was still very glad to receive both of these inside the mail. Like I said, this is raw chocolate, so it will come delivered inside of one of these frozen packs or one of these cool delivery packs here. As you can see, I removed all of my address information from here, but this is a Maison Cacao branded little packaging. This one I'm not going to keep as a souvenir, just throw it away once I'm done showing it off on this video. Things that you receive inside the package, you will get both of these little pamphlets here. This one is more or less an instruction manual, and inside of Japanese it says that you are going to receive these chocolates frozen, so please put them inside the refrigerator for 1 to 6 hours to allow them to thaw, and I've already done that. And the other one here, this is a product guide pamphlet showing all the other chocolates that they have available, as well as giving some information about some new releases that have come out. If you guys didn't already notice off camera, down at the bottom of the screen here, I do have my bottle of Yamazaki Japanese whiskey and my bottle of Hibiki whiskey, and even lower than that, I have my two glasses poured, my Yamazaki in my right hand and my Hibiki in my left hand. And we're going to have both of these simultaneously along with these chocolates. Now, I let these sit inside of the glass for about 5 minutes. So good oxidization there, good airing on them. It's not going to be so harsh when I have them. Now it's time to open up these things themselves and to let you guys know what these are exactly. Now, the first one that we're going to take a look at is the Raw Chocolate Legacy Whiskey Yamazaki. That is the full name of this chocolate. What Maison Cacao has to say about this in Japanese, doing a little bit of translation here, it says the base is bitter chocolate that brings out the astringency, sourness, spice, and deep aroma of roasted nuts, combined with the world-famous Japanese single malt whiskey, Yamazaki. A variety of unblended whiskeys created by our craftsmen who are particular about fermentation, distillation, and storage bring out the delicate taste and aroma. Tradition that connects, flavor that evolves. A product that sticks to manufacturing with Suntory whiskey, single malt whiskey Yamazaki, made only with malt whiskey produced at Yamazaki Distillery, a malt that is prepared with the famous spring water of Yamazaki and slowly matured in wooden barrels over many seasons. And the blender's craftsmanship creates a delicately balanced flavor. Yamazaki was born from the meeting of various Yamazaki malts, including the traditional Mizunara oak malt and the innovative wine barrel malt. Maison Cacao creates an amazing melt-in-your-mouth taste with high moisture content. This delicate, aromatic raw chocolate is handmade by craftsmen, one by one. The chocolate is made from the cultivation of cacao in Colombia, with fermentation, roasting, and mixing, and even making an original couverture. 16 small pieces of chocolate can be found inside of each package. Now, for those with allergies, if you're allergic to milk and soybeans, this is not going to be good for you. The expiry date on this is 1 month in the freezer and 21 days after thawing inside the refrigerator. You should keep it preserved by storing it inside of a temperature that is less than 10 degrees Celsius. All right, let's carefully open this one up for the first time. And when you do so, you see there's a little slit down here at the bottom. The lid just lifts up like this. And the box is kind of made out of like a light plywood. You get 2 toothpicks for picking up the chocolate with. And also inside of here, you get a little pamphlet that has a whiskey barrel on it. And it talks about the Legacy Whiskey Yamazaki chocolate. Nothing that I didn't already say previously inside of this video. Look at how small this is for the price that you pay for it, but I'm looking forward to this being an exceptional tasting raw chocolate. Comes inside of 16 little cubes, and it's preserved inside of a plastic vacuum sealed package in which you can come at this corner here and just pull down to open this up. I've already touched one just now, and it's very soft and delicate. Now when you take it out, it's sitting like this. This little second tray that it's sitting in is more than likely a lid that you could just flip it around and put on top like so, and you can just close it up. Now I'm struggling doing it, but it shouldn't be that difficult. So it's going to look like this when it's closed up. Seeing as I haven't eaten anything today, this expensive chocolate is more or less going to be my breakfast. So let's go ahead and give it a taste, shall we? You can see it's a little bit light, and at some parts of it is dark. A nice mixture and contrast of color. Let's take out one of the cubes here. Extremely soft and chewy. If I could say anything about it and about the texture, it's mouth-watering and it's a more or less melt in your mouth type of chocolate. Let me just put it inside of my mouth and just see what it is like just sitting there. It just kind of melts a little bit and turns into like a little goo ball inside of your mouth. It tastes better than what it sounds like. On to the third piece here. The taste of whiskey is very faint, but it is there. You get a little bit of like what you would expect on the finish of this. This is like a very slight, light finish, more light than what you would be getting here. So expect something along that line. Kind of the aromas that you get on the nose from this whiskey is kind of the taste that you're going to get on the palate from the chocolate. That cask, very wood-like smell, you can kind of taste that ever so slightly in the chocolate. Going in for the fourth piece. It's a very smooth and mellow tasting chocolate with rich flavor inside of there. All right, this is going to be awkward. Let me go ahead and smell this real quick and see what it's like. Well, to say the least, it doesn't smell anything like whiskey whatsoever, not even in the least bit. The smell is just more like raw cacao ingredients. Well, that makes for one. Let me do one more thing real quick. Let me actually have a sip of the whiskey here. They play very nicely together. And the reason why they go amazingly good with one another, if you've ever read my book, 50 Japanese Whiskeys, you know that I've reviewed the Yamazaki whiskey, and I say here on the palate that the palate has the taste of milk chocolate to it. So, just right out of the box, these things have a nice mesh with one another. If there's a pairing of any chocolate that goes good with the whiskey, I'm going to say that this Legacy chocolate goes extremely well with this here Yamazaki single malt whiskey, just the standard no age statement version of this. It's complementary flavor, so how can you go wrong with it? So I had a lot less than what I thought I would. I thought I would decimate all of these. I had 5 of the 16 cubes. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it. Literally. Put a lid on it. Now I'm going to open up the Artisan. Here it is right here inside of this purple and white box. And I got my Hibiki whiskey pour here. And let me just go ahead and show it off with the no age statement Japanese Harmony bottle here. Same, let's go ahead and open this one up safely. You got your 2 toothpicks for eating with. And you also have this little pamphlet here, which on the inside has some of the same information that I've already read. Wait a minute, I didn't read it yet. So let me go ahead and read what this says in English, mind you. This one here says that strong milk chocolate expresses the bitterness of cacao as the base. They've combined the Hibiki that is loved for its gorgeous fragrance and soft, rich taste to this chocolate. The unique whiskeys made at 3 different distilleries, Yamazaki, Hakushu, and Chita, are layered to create a complex and delicate flavor that spreads over and over. The pleasure of drawing a dream in the blank space that spreads over time. A product that sticks to manufacturing with Suntory whiskey Hibiki Japanese Harmony is a Suntory whiskey that resonates with the nature of Japan, the delicate sensibility of the Japanese people, and the skill of Japanese craftsmen, a unique value that harmonizes the Japanese spiritual culture in the midst of the many seasons. Hibiki Japanese Harmony will reverberate throughout the world as the crystallization of Japanese beauty, soft taste that spreads gorgeously, beautifully balanced harmony unique to Japanese whiskey. It is characterized by a complex and delicate flavor that spreads over and over again by layering unique unblended whiskeys made at 3 distilleries, Yamazaki, Hakushu, and Chita, in a blend. A scent that echoes the moment you put it in your mouth. All right, this one also comes inside of a vacuum sealed bag with a little fresh pack inside of there. Let's go ahead and open this one up for the first time. And let's see if this is as good as the last one that we had. Tasting this just strictly, purely as a chocolate, it is immaculate. But as a whiskey-based chocolate, the first one that I had, if you had never told me that there was Yamazaki whiskey inside of that chocolate from the get-go, maybe I wouldn't be able to detect that it was there. But because it was told, and obviously since it's branded as a Yamazaki chocolate, trying it, you can detail just some correlation there. But if nobody never told you what it was or what it was made from, you would not be able to tell. So now we're going to have one of the Hibiki chocolates called the Artisan for the first time. Let me give it a smell test real quick. The smell is a little bit different from the Legacy one, but still, more or less, it smells like raw cacao and milk, and it has zero aroma or reminiscent type scents of whiskey on the nose of just smelling it. It just smells more or less like a pure chocolate. Let's have a taste here. The taste is also very rich here. A very different taste, so to speak, from the Legacy. This one, this Hibiki Artisan flavored chocolate, has more of a milk chocolate type taste to it. Very much more so. More heavier milk. And if I could say which one I appreciate more, I'm probably personally going to have to go with the Artisan one, because I am a sucker for milk chocolate more so than I am dark chocolate. Not to say that the Legacy tastes like dark chocolate. It's just closer on the scale to dark chocolate than what the Artisan is. But they're both very rich with milk inside of it. But this one has more milk, I would say. The last observation that I made about these two is that the Artisan is a lighter chocolate than the Legacy. Side by side, you can see that the Artisan is lighter in color and more consistent in color than the Legacy, which is darker and more arrayed from kind of a light brown to a dark brown throughout. And that seems to be more consistent with my tasting review, saying that the Legacy chocolate tasted a bit darker than the Artisan that tasted a lot more like it had much more milk inside of it. I would recommend to try them both if you can. I mean, you're already spending the money. You want to experiment. You want to be able to try something that's very limited in release and say that you had it, have a nice experience with it. So go ahead and try them both. But if you only have access to one, or if you only have money where you could choose, where you have to choose one over the other, I would highly recommend getting the Artisan. Let me just go ahead and have one more for good measure here. Oh man, this is absolutely beautiful stuff. Have a sip of the Hibiki Japanese Harmony whiskey here. It smells so good after letting it sit for a duration of time. It has that vanilla maple-like smell coming off of it now. Very rich and light. When it comes to the pairing, these two are still very good together. The Hibiki whiskey with the artisan chocolate. But they are less complementary of one another. Whereas the legacy chocolate and the Yamazaki whiskey just melded and meshed together so well. These are more of a contrasting type flavor, but still good together, Absolutely fantastic. I'm very satisfied with my purchases here today of these two chocolates. Well, it wasn't purchased today, it was more or less purchased a week ago. It's just that I'm conducting the video review today on Valentine's Day. But wow, it's money well spent for me. I'm glad to have tried this. You get these nice little light pegwood type boxes that these come in, so I'm definitely going to keep these boxes as a souvenir and not throw them away. Probably ever. Who knows what you could keep inside of these small things, but I will be holding on to them and putting some keepsakes inside of here. Maybe some coins or something. Who knows? Anyways, that's all for my review over the Maison Cacao Yamazaki Legacy Chocolate and the Maison Cacao Hibiki Artisan Chocolate. I thank you guys for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. If you guys are drinking, make sure that you drink responsibly. And as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy. I'm out.